Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, actually, good evening. Um, 3T Radio starting right now. Talk that truth. And that's what we're here to do. We're gonna talk that truth. I'm Rick Judah here with my brother Marcus and my sister Monica. And my brother Showtime. Hold on. All right, there we go. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, my
All
fault.
right. I ain't got my brother Showtime as well. So that's it. We say we go through introductions. I guess I can go around. Everybody kind of introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are, and just give a little background. I'll go ahead and go first. That's it. Rick Judo. I have of course I have another channel with my congregation, my church, where we go ahead and explain the history of my people, the history of what we call so-called Black people, our culture, and how we can return to our God. Now, this is just our, like I said, a radio show where we're going into discussing topics so we can get help with real life situations and relationships, building all those things back, and how we can, as a people, well, not just as a people, as all people, come back and learn how to deal with each other in every way, shape, or form. And of course, we also go into other topics like going to current events, which is topics going on with what you heard, which is the main news, like your celebrity news and things like that. But like I said, that's what I do. I do that normally. Of course, I work outside of here, and we're trying to continue to get the word out to help our people. Marcus, if you want to go, you can go ahead and go first. Give yourself a little introduction.
All right, I'm Brother Marcus, a faith-based organization where we teach the principles of the Bible, teach about who we are as a people, nationality, also a father, um, occupation, software programmer. So that's just a quick, brief history about me.
Sister Heather, Sister Monica, go ahead.
My name is Monica. I don't have any other YouTube channels or anything that I'm on. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much. I don't have anything really exciting to share.
Hi, Mr. Showtime, go ahead.
Yeah, Joe Mayor Campbell, Showtime. Just a brother that studies, man, and love our people, and try to affect all the people I meet in a positive manner to build with each other. So that's my whole goal.
Hey, for sure, for sure. Well, then we definitely will be able to do that. Like I said, we better discuss things that affect our community, affect the community of the world. Like especially when it comes into love, relationships, things like that. And is there any validity, like I said, to the topic we have? Is there any validity to the statement of "can't help who you love"? And of course, we're talking about how we can do things for others and help each other out. We'll discuss different topics like that. I also want to say, of course, another thing I want to just say, background. I had three former athletes on here as well. Actually, a matter of fact, I think all three of us play receiver at one point. So, three former football players. So we all into that. Which also I'm probably gonna have another page where we're gonna go into discussing sports topics. So I definitely like to have you brothers on for that. Definitely. And so that's what we're gonna do. But as far as tonight, like I said, we're gonna go into you can't help who you love. That's a statement that is made over and over again throughout life, throughout different walks of life, different circles, organizations, cultures, whatever it is. So we're gonna discuss that. So we're gonna see what people's thoughts are on it. I'm gonna come to you first, Mr. Showtime. What you got? What you can't help who you love. What do you think about that?
Um, I would have to kind of disagree with that idea or that premise because I mean, you maybe can't help who you connect with. You may not know what draws you to that person, makes you want to look at them, want to be by that person. Especially if if it's that romantic type of love that we're talking about. So, you know, so you may not understand what draws you to that person, but you definitely have an idea or an image of the person that you want to be in love with, and especially for males, it's definitely going to be some type of version of your mother. if it's going to be like the perfect version that she is or that you believe she is, or it would be a complete flip. Like I want a woman that's completely opposite of the way I feel like my mom treated me, you know. So, and I think, you know, can't speak for women, but I think a lot of women choose males based on the relationship with their father. So, you know, I definitely think that you have a projected image that you see your mate wanting to be, and that person that you choose, they would probably fall in line with those, you know, with those standards that you have set. So I definitely think that you you can help who you love, you know, because you're going to put yourself around the people that you know that you feel like surround that have the energy that you know that you would like. So I definitely think that you choose who you love. You know, you can help it.
Okay, okay. Interesting take. Interesting take. Monica, coming to you next. Unless you got any rebuttals or anybody's got a rebuttal what he said. Monica, go ahead and give what you thought.
No, I definitely don't have any rebuttals. I agree with Showtime said. I definitely believe you choose who you love, so you can definitely help who you love. I know a lot of times, especially for women, we don't really know what to look for in men, but at the same time, you can still you know who you love. You can definitely help that. But I agree with what Showtime said. I think he was right on point with that.
All right, all right, cool, cool, cool. We both on the same, well, both two on the same page. Showtime, Monica. Marcus, what you got on the topic? What you think?
You
Are you
mute.
still on mute?
Yeah, my bad, my bad. Yeah, you definitely can help who you love. You can if someone says they can't help who they love, then that's a person that don't know what they like. That's a person that don't know what they need. Because usually when a person say they can't help who they love is usually somebody that feels like they love the wrong person. Usually that's somebody who feel like they fell in love with the wrong person. You feel like you fell in love with the wrong. How is that possible?
Oh, you chopping up. You chopping up. I was
That
gonna say
mean that person
I missed
got
the
in your
last few parts.
space. That mean that person got. Can you hear me now?
Say Marcus on. Hold on. Yeah, I say we missed like the last 20 seconds. I was gonna say,
That's a
can
little
you
better.
go back and run it back? We missed the last 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I said, yeah, a person that say they can't help who they love is because they love the wrong person and they let the wrong person get in their personal space. That's all that means. The only people that say that is somebody that loved the wrong person. That's all. But you can definitely help who you love.
Okay, well, shoot, I guess what I'm gonna say is gonna kind of mirror a lot of what y'all saying. Matter of fact, exactly what y'all saying. When we say we can't help who we love, a lot of times, as you said, we fell for the wrong person, and then what I would say is we don't really want to take accountability for our bad choice. It's kind of like we want to say, oh, it's kind of almost like we're saying the person held us at gunpoint and forced us to fall for them. Like, hey, you're gonna love me right now. Like right now, get the gun to the head, and we like just falling for it. And we going for it, like, man, yeah, we couldn't do nothing about it. They forced me to do it. When no one can really force, you know, your what they say, your feelings, your emotions, they can't force they can't force infatuation. Infatuation is just there or not, which infatuation ain't love either. But they can't do it. And just like at love, it's a choice. Because it's a choice to really it's a choice to do certain things. And I know a lot of people say love is a duty, it's action, it's like a job, and you actually got to put work in on that job often, because if you don't put work in on that job, you're gonna get fired. Then and it's just gonna go bad for you. Did somebody say something on that? I don't know if anybody had a comment to go with.
No, I definitely agree with everybody though. But and you know, to kind of piggyback off, what's up, beautiful? Say hey, Cassie. Say hey. Hi. All right. But yeah, so but no, when it comes to love, man, like, but it is an action though. Like it is an action, but it's also like a it's not it's like a duty, but it's kind of like breathing is an action that you do to that gives you life. You see what I mean? So love is an action that you do to show that symbol of care. You see what I mean? So you want to do that with a person that you then built this image up and they kind of fit in this image, but if they don't fit in this image, they kind of shook your world in a way that you feel like is positive though. You know what I mean? Something that makes you think about them, makes you want to be around them. You know what I mean? So I think like all of that is based on what we feel and how we perceive life. You know what I mean? So I think that that's why it's hard for me to understand like you know speed dating and all type of like arranged dates. You know what I mean? Like that right there is kind of hard for me, well, especially like with a marriage. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of women watch shows today, like married at, or you meet the person and marry them. When you're meeting them, you're marrying them. So I think like that right there is like kind of a distorted idea of love. So I don't know, maybe that's just off topic.
Is it like Married in 90 Days or something? You talking about something like that?
No, it's like they're meeting at the wedding. The wedding is the meeting.
Oh, I never. Hey, what's the name of the show? Anybody know Monica Marcus? Y'all know the name?
What is it, Keisha? Married at
Love at
first.
first sight. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you watch
Oh,
that?
Married at First Sight.
I do
Okay.
watch that.
Yeah, but like real talk with love, man. Love is something that's like, it's like saying what's beautiful to you. You see what I mean? Everybody's description of love is going to be based on the perception that they have in life, and that perception is going to be based on your past experience with what you would consider people that you love. So you know what I mean? All of it is going to be environmental. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that that has the biggest shaping of what we consider love. Some people may consider, a man, beating on his woman is love, control. You see what I mean? Like, and some women may see that as love. Well, girl, he only hit me because he loved me, or whatever the situation, or vice versa. So everybody could have a different perspective of love, and it could be, borderline this or borderline that. So, I think first everybody has to define what love is, you know what I mean, before they can have it.
Exactly. Sometimes we confuse love with lust. Not
Mm-hmm.
really love. You're just lusting after somebody. So I think that's a
Yeah.
big. I think a lot of people don't even really understand what love is. So I think that's a big issue that we have in our community.
So what's the difference though, Monica? Like what do y'all think the difference is between, like, because you see it's kind of like a post player, and this is basketball analogy, and but a post player and a point guard are both playing on the same playing field. You see what I mean? So we know that lust and love both play on the same playing field. So when do you leave out of lust and lust turns into love, or is lust not ever turned into love and it's just its own category? You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying because I think lust is when it's just a feeling. Oh, I just feel it. There's no type of action put behind it. That butterfly feeling. Oh, he gives me butterflies, but there's no real action. Because I do believe love is an action word. So if he's not showing you that he loves you, you're probably just lusting after him because of this feeling that he's giving you,
Mm.
which I think a lot of women go off of. We go off of feelings instead of what it really is.
No, heavy statement, heavy statement. So, being that you said women go off of that, so when we have men that kind of have the same thought process, hey, we can't help it. Would that be men going off of their feelings? Because I like what you said, and I like what Showtime said when we're talking about that love, or when does lust turn into love? Because okay, I can't. I'm just gonna say this for men and brothers. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. At any time, please jump in. It's going to be lust at first sight. We just go. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It's a lust at first sight because that initial attraction, which something attracts you. If you got two magnets, they're attracted, they're drawn together. Well, me as a man, I'm attracted to good looks. I'm attracted to a pretty face. I'm attracted to a fit body. I'm attracted to, a certain type of skin tone. I'm attracted to that. So lust draws me in. I'm coming in there for that. But I'm not gonna be like, I can't help. I can help who I. Well, sometimes you might not be able to help who you lust because you got a type. Everybody got a type, as you would say. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has certain things they're drawn to. So you may not be able to help that, but you're gonna also be able to be drawn to many different things. But that's a whole nother conversation I ain't getting to yet. But lust draws you in. And then love is something that's like, and again, it's what I'm saying, because understanding love is an action in my book, according to because we know the scripture says, love is as far as is keeping the commandments. So when you're keeping the commandments or have that preference for someone, you're going to make that connection with someone that is actually going to rock with you and keep your commandments. As a man, you're not gonna get some woman that's not gonna keep your commands, not gonna submit, not gonna obey, not gonna follow you. So if it's like, oh, I can't help the fact that I love this woman that disobeys me and gives me the middle finger, now you're making a choice. So I can't call that love anymore. That lust is still gonna be there. They're still gonna look good. They're still gonna attract you. They might still have that pretty voice. They might have all of those things, but it's not gonna be love. And that's just how I'm seeing it. I can't speak, but I'm just touching on what y'all said as far as lust.
Think, and I guess that's where that comes into play. That you can't help who you love is when you supposedly love is now a demon, or the person you supposedly love is not doing or not showing. Then that's when that comes into play of where you can't help. I think that's when that comes into play. So yeah, you're right. That lust do draw you in. That lust something attract you to that person. And then it goes from there. And then once you so far in, what happens? That's when I think people feel invested. And then that's when that you can't help who you love comes into play. I think it's more of a, like I said earlier, no accountability of getting out of bad situation. What y'all think?
But it sounds like what it sounds like you're saying is kind of like what, and Rick too, is that lust is like kindergarten to love. You know what I mean? And then once you get into kindergarten and you pass to the first grade, it may be like the highest level of the lust, right? And then now when you get to second grade, it's like a choice, right? Now it's a choice. Now it's like, okay, I feel this attraction, and do you know what I mean, keep her in this spot right here, try to keep her right here where we don't grow, you know what I mean, but it's still sexually, you know what I mean, attractive, and we doing what, whatever the relationship, but not with the title. Or do I want to move forward and kind of practice a child family? You get what I'm saying? So it's like a choice. But lust is also like what Monica hit it on the head. It's like it's filled with actionless excitement, though. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like watching a movie, and at the end of the movie you feel like, oh shoot, I want to, but you ain't experienced what Thor went through. You know what I mean? Thor was traveling through the galaxy fighting the galactic monsters. You know what I mean? So when you watch it, it gives you the energy. So you know what I mean? So lust is kind of like, I believe it is the first stage of love, and also it's like a choice involved in love, like right at the end of lust, like there's a choice made. It's like, do I graduate or do I go back and repeat lust again? Just an idea.
And when I looked up the definition of lust, it comes up as a strong desire of something. So there's really not any action put forth. You're just lusting after that person's looks, after that person's money, after that person's status. So it's something that I just lust after what I think they have or what they can do for me, but they're really not putting any actions behind it.
Well, I like how you said that, what they can do for me, and that's how you know it's as Showtime said, kindergarten, and as babies will do. Babies are looking for things that will fix them, that will help them. The baby, and I talked about this before. Matter of fact, I think I talked about it on the class yesterday. Babies will be like, "Hey, I want my bottle." You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about nothing else going on with you. When nothing else, anybody else in the world, give me my bottle. I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be screaming until the cows come home. You want your desire. That desire doesn't care about nothing but being taken care of. About being it's another word I want, quenched. You got that fire, you want it quenched. Nothing else matters but quenching that fire. Brothers know what I'm talking about. When that fire is on, it's you got to do something about it. And when it's super strong, you like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I need this fire taken down. So and it goes back to, and I love what brother Vic said. He said lust will have you paying child support. That is some fire, because it sure will. Because lust, you're so blinded by it that you don't even notice what's going on around you, and it will put you in a situation that's lifelong bondage. Well, I say lifelong, 18 years, but then again, if you're a real parent, you're still going to be bound to that child, because you're responsible for their life.
Mhm.
So it will do that to you regardless of what it is. The same thing will be with shoot, the movie Lust doesn't come with the STD. You know what I'm saying? Hey, lust will bring you that STD, that you lifelong bondage. It doesn't. But when you in that, when that fire needs to be quenched, you don't even care about anything else. And that's going back into the whole love thing. Somebody saying they're in love, they stuck in a situation with somebody and they cannot get out, or they feel like they can't get out, and they say you can't help it. But again, you can help it. It's going to be a painful thing to rip yourself away from that situation. Like, you got to get away from, you lose your children. You might have to lose half of your things, your house. You might have to lose your car. You might have to lose your, everything, the garden you done built. You done built the fence with your bare hands, and you gotta, now that whole thing is torn. Your whole operation is no longer the same. So yeah, that's something that you say you can't help, but actually you can help it. You just don't want to. There's a difference, and again, that's why I said it's a choice.
And let me say this, why? Because that was, especially when you look at from a male perspective. You know what I mean? I can only look at it from that perspective, right? But um, when you think about the power that is within that, you've seen men act in all kinds of ways, right? You've seen them exert that energy and want to release it in all kinds of ways. So it's it's a powerful, very powerful energy. And that's why when you get to learning, when you take journeys on, like, about knowledge and stuff, and you get to learning about the kundalini energy, and you learn that it's a, more like a feminine sexual, not feminine, but just a sexual energy. And if you understand, like, the drive that we feel is only part of it. You see what I mean? And when you understand, like, the energy that's connected with it, and if you understood how to focus it, then the power is limitless when you understand the power within it, just like the power within love. It's not even something that we can even explain, because we still haven't gave a definition. But that was just one, because that drive is strong, and it makes men act in certain ways that are unbecoming of what men should do. You know what I mean? So but to know that that energy is within us, that's the thing that we should learn to tame, and that's the energy that we use, I believe, in our day to day, that drives us. And if we could use that energy and take from it the power that is within it, and use it to build the the ideas that are within the mind. You see what I mean? I think that we have a better chance of manifesting those kingdoms and those paradises, you know what I mean, that we dream of.
So you're basically saying control desires or control that feminine energy, because kind of sound like you said, when people, this makes men do things that are unbecoming of men. So basically, them desires or that lust is an emotion that is controlling you. So if you control by your emotions or your desires, like a woman, so now you're being feminine, and which is going to lead to the destruction of yourself, because it's unbecoming of a man. I mean, it's going by what you said, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Yes, please. I have to correct that. You know what I mean? Definitely not a feminine thing to be destructive. I think it's more of a male type of energy, a fire type of energy, something that a man has. But I'm saying, like, it makes a man act unbecomingly, because we know that in all cultures, even the cultures that are not connected to each other, men would act with certain respect. You know what I mean? No matter what they call it, respecting of the women or respecting of brother is going to be universal, even amongst animals. You see what I'm saying? Like some animals can coexist with other animals where they're not gonna fight each other. They'll go to the same. You see what I mean? Same. Plenty of animals living in the ocean together, and some don't even fight. You know what I mean? Everybody's not fighting each other. So it's not a. I don't think it's a feminine thing. I think it's the desire to want it will make you. You know what I mean? It's like a. It's a force that's stronger than some willpowers. I'll say it like that. You see what I mean? And when that force is strong and you have focus on it, there's nothing you can't do without with focus. So when you really focus on that, you'll do anything. Like if you really have a dream that you want and you focus on it, you'll run through a building to get to it. You'll run extra laps out the practice to get to it. You see what I'm saying? You'll if you got that desire to be in love, you'll drive miles to be with this person. So I think that is you see what I mean? That's what's within desire. All of these, characteristics that can be manipulated and used in a way or bring about a negative result for the person using it.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Monica.
So do we look at lust as a very oh, I just lost my thought, as a very selfish thing where love is a more give and take between two people, and lust is a very selfish, a desire to please your own needs type thing. And love is when it's a give and take between two people.
Great question. Marcus, what you think?
Yeah, lust is definitely selfish. It's it's all about what you feel you want, what you feel you need, and it's all about discipline. Uh, you can help who you love if you have discipline of controlling your lust, because discipline will control who you let in those spaces. Without discipline, especially women, because they are, you know, some try to disagree, but sex is very emotional for y'all. So if y'all letting anybody that y'all lust after in that space, then it's just, it's a selfish thing, and shows a lack of discipline.
Hey, I like that. And even that he said, if you let just anybody in that space, which we know is physical and spiritual, because, and I say spiritual, literal in a sense, because people let people in, a woman to let a man in her space that is only supposed to be reserved for one man in the first place. Well, that's gonna be a whole nother topic. I'm gonna leave that alone right now. But she lets a man in that space and, physically, and then she also let men in her mental, and of course it's usually driven again by that selfish the lustful desire, because as you said, you can't make a disciplined decision or a thought out decision when it's based off of silly things. Like you hear a lot of sisters say, and again, I'm not trying to pick on the women right now, but I got to call it as it is. Yeah, he doesn't have that spark. You know what I'm saying? That spark is missing. He doesn't have that. It's they're basically, there's no fireworks. And it's like, well, what are the fireworks? What is it? Like when you ask about the character traits of him, it's like they don't say, it's like, no, he's a good guy, but he doesn't have that spark. So it's like, so are you looking for, things that's going to generate love, strong love, or are you looking for things that's going to, and it's really not spark, it's going to be who gets me excited, who gets me dripping, if y'all get what I'm saying.
And you're very right about that. That's why I said women, we operate too much off of how somebody makes us feel. It's very dangerous to operate off your feelings, which I've been very guilty of that, which has got me into some predicaments that I didn't want to be in because I'm operating off of feelings.
Hey, but I would have to disagree with the. I would say that with especially with the lust, like it sounds like you're saying that lust is like the piano, right? Like on the piano, the keys are lust, but the sound that comes out is going to be love. How are you going to play with lust to get love if lust is a negative thing. So you're starting out with a negative, and out of the negative is going to grow into a positive. You see what I mean? So really, I think it's the same idea of like a gun. Everybody in their mind is deemed guns to be negative. You see what I mean? Because of the image that has been played on a gun. But if you've been to a place and you've got that gun at the right time, and you see what I mean, you see how that gun has saved your life, or if you hunt or whatever the situation may be. So when it comes to lust, I think lust has gotten that same bad taste. I think lust is just it's like primary school. It's like you see what I mean? It's not going to teach you exactly what the high school is going to teach you, because the high school is going to go in depth on subject matter, teaching you how to study and categorize and all of this, when the preschool is going to teach you the colors. You get what I'm saying? Small categorize and all of that. So I just think that lust it shouldn't be looked at as a negative. It should be looked at as a tool that you don't stay on. You know what I'm saying? You don't stay in the first grade if you're trying to gain knowledge. You know what I mean? So you always want to gain, you constantly want to move up to level. But this is the question that I have. But no, and the second thing about the women though, right? When we talk about women and we were like, hey, they promiscuous and all of this, right? Or whatever. We drive that culture. We men drive that whole universe of women wanting to even be or make money. If there was no men supporting strippers, there would be no strippers. It's the men that's filling them up and throwing money and, you know what I mean, bands of this and bands of that, just because they want to see women. So guess what women say? Oh shit, men want to see this. That's what I'm gonna do. You get what I'm saying? Men, it's the same thing. So we create the environment for women to be this promiscuous girl. And if you got homeboys, you young, you want your homeboys to experience some of the. If you had sex early, you want your homeboy to experience sex early. You get what I'm saying? If you got a girl that's willing to do you, you want her to do him too. You see what I mean? So now you have gave her an image that she has stained herself, because she may have wanted to please you because she like you, and you brought other factors in that's now going to later be a virus that's going to run in my program system. You get what I'm saying? That's now going to make me operate in a way that you are going to now judge me as unworthy of love, because you see what I mean? So it's a lot of factors that go into the mind of how a person operates, that we can't overlook the male perspective and how we bring it to the women. Most women have been cheated on by us. You know what I mean? It's us that do. I've heard men out my mouth say, shit, if it's mine, I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But when a girl do that, it's the worst thing in the world. But on the other hand, we do hold y'all to a high standard, because y'all are the mothers of the universe. To me, you know what I mean? So when I think about the woman is the highest form of being in all forms of life. You see what I mean? So when you look up at the tree, you look up at all of the birds, like the woman is the one that's giving and bringing forth life. She has the portal to life. So she is the most delicate. You know, a lot of men say, hey, men are the strongest creature and we dominate. Well, you can't always measure strength with the ability to push mass. You see what I'm saying? So a woman's strength goes a lot farther than a man's strength. And I think that the reason why so many wars is because men are more egotistical. You know, I want to take up all the time, but men are more egotistical, and we use that energy in more of a negative way. I never knew of a nation that was ran by a woman and another nation that was ran by a woman warring with each other.
You preaching Showtime. You better stop. Yes, because we are always seeking male attention, even if it's negative. I've heard men say, "Yeah, but we won't marry women that do this, that, and the other." But yeah, as long as we're getting the attention, we don't care if it's negative. We're seeking that male attention all the time. So yes, a lot of the promiscuity comes from us. Yeah, trying to attract you all. That's exactly where it comes from.
Oh, Marcus is ready. I see him. Go ahead, Marcus.
Trying to get to that unmute button. But but it's Showtime, I see what you're saying about how men, we do sexualize our women, but at some point, the women are the product. They are the product. Let's use gold. Gold is it's a high commodity, but if everybody has it, the value goes down. That's with anything. A lot of things, the value can't go down. Now women controls the access to sex. We control the access to relationships and marriage. With women, oldest what the I don't know what we can say on her, but the oldest profession is what? Selling P.
Oh yeah, no, you go ahead. Hey, say what you
Whatever
say.
y'all
We
want to
good.
say.
Yeah, you good. Don't you say what you guys say.
Okay. Selling pussy is the oldest profession known. So that's not gonna ever change with the beauty of women. But so men sexualizing women, that's not gonna ever stop. But when they start to sexualize themselves, that's when it becomes a problem.
Hey, man, I got it's a lot to touch on. I definitely agree. Like I said, Showtime, you came with it on some stuff. Some of the stuff as far as women trying to get our attention, it's absolutely on point. Like they doing everything they do is to get our attention, even if that means take off their shirt to get 4 or 5 likes. You know what I'm saying? They will do all of that stuff just for attention. And if it wasn't for us trying to get it, yeah, they wouldn't be, going for that. But that's why they got to be taught early on too to know that hey, that type of attention, that type valuing that is really not what's up. Like at the end of the day, it's going to lead you down the wrong road. And of course, men, we are the leaders. We're the ones to give direction. So we should be setting a whole nother standard that we're setting out there, which I kind of see you kind of like putting accountability on the men, which I do believe. Now, as far as the women having like if you got a culture of women, I don't want to go too far off because as far as we can't help who you love, but I did want to touch on as far as if you got a culture of women, a whole country of women, and they're not gonna go to war with another country of women, that's because they just gonna destroy themselves anyway. You know what I'm saying? Women are self-destructive. They don't need to go to war with each other. They just blow themselves up. So if you got a bunch of feminine men, they gonna do that.
But Rick,
Go ahead. What you got?
the matriarchal society was not destroyed by itself. There has been matriarchal societies, and if you go study the matriarchal society, they was always destroyed by a patrilineal, a male-dominated society. You know what I mean? Males took the woman down, knocked down her statues, and put up male. You see what I mean? So it's not, she didn't self-implode. You see what I mean? When her culture was there, it was flourishing. It was, you see what I mean? So it's not, it was not like, I just think we have a bad look on women, man. Yeah, women are the shit, man. And a lot of people may not see it like this. A lot of gay men want to be like women because women are the shit. You see what I mean? A lot of these men be around women so long that they start to gain their mannerisms and they start to, act more feminine. And those ideas lead you into corners that you really ain't gonna be able to come back from. But a woman is the shit. When you around a beautiful woman and she has herself together and like she's doing the thing, she's gonna attract other women. It's gonna be something that's beautiful, and it's gonna be something that's like when you see a flower, it's be like, damn, that flower is beautiful. It's nature in its finest. You see what I mean? So when we look, and another thing about the men, we want that woman to show her breast, shake her ass until it's time for her to now stand beside me and be a representation of myself. You see what I mean? Now your past is gonna hurt you. You see what I mean? So it's just like the court system. Let me get him in jail, get him a felony, and then when he turned 40 and try to, get his life together, this stain is gonna always be there.
Hey, so to touch on what you said, hey, we want that woman to shake her ass and to show them titties and wiggle them around, whatever they want, whatever they gonna do, right? Until what? Until she gonna stand beside us. See, here's the thing: Remember now, and now we get to bring it back to the topic title. You can't help who you love. See, men, we can help who we love. We know that woman that's out there that's doing this, the twerk master. You know what I'm saying? She's not going to stand beside us. We're not even going to think about putting her next to. Well, I'm not. I can't speak for all these other brothers. She has no chance in hell to stand beside me. And matter of fact, I would, if she tries to stand next to my friends, I'm gonna be like, hey, bruh, you know she busting it wide open for the team. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, that those are the ones that get played. When again, I'm not saying we should be doing it because we're actually destroying our own culture. We're destroying our own people when we do these things. So I can for myself admit that, hey, ways I was moving in the past was definitely self-destructive to my people. And I can say self-destructive because again, it was a lot of emotion-driven actions coming from me. So I can say that. But we cannot we got to understand, like I said, as far as helping who we love, it depends on our lifestyle. Matter of fact, let me touch on this real quick because brother Darian made a comment way early in the beginning of the podcast, and I missed it. He said, I believe our walk and lifestyle plays a major part in our relationships, meaning who we get involved with. Because our lifestyle, if we are the one if we go to the strip club every Friday and Saturday, and we tossing up hundreds, you know what I'm saying, back and forth, you know what I'm saying, to all of them, eventually we're gonna be like Myron and we're gonna follow Diamond home. You know what I'm saying? For all my people that seen Players Club, y'all know what I'm talking about. We're gonna follow her home, talking about we want to get with you and all that stuff, and I'm obsessed with you. Why? Because our lifestyle led us into that space of being obsessed with a freaking stripper. Like, what the hell's wrong with us? We done lost our minds. So I 100% agree that our lifestyle plays a major role in how we do things, where we go. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay attention to these things. So we can't deny that fact, but we do got to understand that we have to remove ourselves from certain positions. If we put ourselves in certain positions, it's not that we can't help who we love. It's that our lifestyle got us to where we were deceived. You know what I'm saying? The ways of the wicked deceive the righteous, and being amongst the wicked deceived us and pulled us right in. Oh, Monica, you got any? My fault. Go ahead, Showtime.
No, that's all making sure that especially if Miss Monica wanted to say something, please go ahead.
No, I'm definitely rocking with what Showtime is. I'm definitely rocking with what you're saying because that's always been a very confusing factor to me about how men show attention to the things that they say they don't want. I think it's very confusing for women. They like all the Instagram pictures with the weave, the lashes, the butt out, the
Mm-hmm.
chest out, and they say, but those aren't the women that we want. But I think women are very confused with that. Yes, you're not marrying those women, but those are the women that are getting the attention. So it just causes more women to go down that route because we are seeking that attention. Like, oh, is that what I got to do to get with you? I need to show a little bit because if you go to my Instagram and I'm just plain Jane, you probably gonna have 5 likes. Let me slap on a
Exactly.
wig. Let me put them lashes on. Let me do the little turn around with my head to the back, and I'm gonna have all types of likes. So women start to do that more because we are desiring you all's attention. So sometimes y'all give off mixed messages. And I think some women are confused by that. And that's why you see women in their 40s going to get surgery and doing all this because we're thinking that's what you all want. Y'all say y'all don't want it, but your actions show differently.
Mhm. Hey, and just to, like, I was just about to hit that same exact point, like, because like I've done it. I went on a girl page that's got thousands of followers. It may be a butt picture, and next thing you know, she's got 25,000 likes, right? Then you go to a picture where she's just kind of like clothed and ain't showing too much or whatever, and she's got 5 likes, 5,000 likes. You know what I mean? So, but what I want to say is, especially to the queens, is that the image that you place in front of a man is going to be the image that we're going to chase after. So when you looking for attention and you're going out and you playing the game of who's the sexiest and who's going to, what I'm saying, and now who's the sexiest is going to make you use less and less clothes. So now when we see you and your ass cheeks out and we know you got your cleavages all out, that's the image that we're going to chase after. You know what I mean? So once that image is being chased out of, it's going to be hard for you to now play an image in my head that shows me this woman is worthy of me saying you a queen and I want to put my last name on you. I want you to walk through this life with me. You know what I mean? So I think that we got to understand, like a guy said this about sports, and it was a very relevant to what we're talking about. If somebody would have told me that all the hard work I was going to put in and don't make it to being where I was going to be something that set me back from being something else, I may would have chose different. You see what I'm saying? So you get me. With that said, it's just like the women got to really understand like the image that is being portrayed, and once you start that image is going to constantly unfold, and now the next time you get good vibes from that guys on you, you're getting likes. So guess what you're gonna do? You're probably gonna have to one up it. You're gonna have to do something better. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's a slippery slope that we're playing in, because the imagination is very powerful. You see what I mean? So when you and if you have that self-image that you need to be perfect. And last thing, my wife said something that was so cold. Like it just rocked my whole world to think about it. You know, and she was like, I was talking about this video that I saw, and it was this guy talking about how he had a yacht that was $1 million. And you know, the pretty girl with the breast out, she didn't pay nothing to get on that yacht and kick it with him. You see what I'm saying? But she made a very valid point. She was like, but guess what? When he get tired of that girl, he can kick her off. But not only that, that same girl is going to have to compete with every other one of her that's out there trying to get on the yacht. And now she's going to have to look like this 21-year-old perfect lady for the rest of her being around this type of energy. And it's not easy to keep up that same energy of being beautiful at all times. You see what I mean? Looking 21 and 23, what we really like. You see what I mean? The girls that get the following. So I just think that that's an aspect that don't get put into it from us, just how hard it is to be beautiful. You know what I mean? I have a beautiful wife, and it's like I appreciate her effort to be beautiful.
Marcus, you got anything? I was gonna go in, but I don't know if you got some.
Yeah, I want to touch on what Monica said. I don't really think it's attention that women really want. I think that's what they think they want, but I think it's the quality attention, because women get attention all day, every day, just on the nature of men. But if they're not getting the attention from the people that they like, then they have to go overboard. Then they have to go beyond. So I don't really think it's necessarily attention. I think it's the quality of attention that they're getting. And then on top of that, you have to look at, is it out?
You freezing,
If
Marcus?
the 40-year-old
Okay, you back.
is still trying to get attention at 40, then let me see. Am I back?
Okay, you back now.
Am I back?
I don't know if you lagging or not, but yeah, you back.
My bad, Joe. Yeah, it's this laptop. I guess I'm on the Wi-Fi. But I just think it's the quality of attention. So it's like, do women want attention or do they want outcomes? Because, like you said, these women is getting millions of likes, millions of views, but they got to keep coming back. They got to keep coming back for it. Now, when you, after those likes, after those views, what outcomes do you have? What do you have to show for it? So that's where women have to start looking at, do I want attention or do I want outcome? Do I want results? And results should drive your actions, especially if you, that's the definition of insane, to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. So I really don't think attention.
What if she's getting money for it?
So then
money results is the question.
Now it's going into lust. Now it's going to her strong desire is money. She
Bring it out.
don't. Her lust is not men. Her lust is money. Because it's like now you love money. Then if you love money, now what people say, you can't help who you love.
But that's like a farmer, right? If a farmer plants a tree and that tree yields fruit, that fruit makes him money. The next year, the farmer says, nigga, I'm finna plant 50,000 of these. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got enough land where I can plant. Woo, I can go on. Is he addicted to money, or is he a businessman who has a idea of something that he wants to meet? This same girl could use the intelligence that is within her brain saying, okay, none of these guys are sleeping with me. They just want to see me. And for them wanting to see me, I get likes and likes and likes, and I can get paid. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope. Because it's kind of like you could slide it into prostitution, you know what I'm saying? And you could say, okay, it's just kind of photography. You see what I mean? So it's really like love.
Oh, it's definitely prostitution. It's definitely prostitution.
Now, Showtime, I want to ask you this though. Did the value of the farmer go down when he decided to plant 1 million trees?
The
value, you got to look at it.
Come on, hit this.
So now, like this water, right?
As a woman, as a farmer, the value didn't go down.
But see, look, as a woman, looking at it from this angle, look, you only look at it from one angle. As you pause the picture, and then you change the pan around the canvas. Now you done planted so many flowers or trees that you may not be home like you were. You see what I mean? So now the wife is at home like, damn, he gone all day now. You see what I mean? Now relationship. So now that attention that you have chose to put into building something that you have seen to be lucrative could take away from the thing that is most important, which is the family growing and becoming successful, or whatever the situation is that you had at home. So yes, that farmer who decided to increase could take away from something. You see what I mean? So it just depends on what.
But that just goes into balance. That just goes into, that's with anybody, man or woman. If anybody got balance, then they can do that. But a woman can't balance her pussy. A woman can't balance her body. Like there's no, okay, I'm just go post 25 naked photos instead of 50. That 25 naked photos still takes her value down. So it's about balance. That's not a good analogy, because
how does her value go down, Marcus? Like, okay, she posted naked pictures. How does her value go down?
Because that is her value.
Her image.
Well, her image.
Absolutely.
Like you said, your image is our image is our value. When you diminish your image, you messing up your value. Now you have to do something to build that up. But it's kind of hard to build up, like you letting everybody, your body, a woman's body is sacred. That's not for everybody to see. That's why it goes into modesty, immodest, and all of that. So if the value do go down if a man wife throwing 25 naked pictures up, what's that value goes down.
It depends.
That value goes down.
It just depends on.
Hey, hold on. Real quick question. Hold on. You said depends. Now let's be. If your wife was on OnlyFans, would you still be like, I'm good here?
If I met her on OnlyFans and I knew this was her occupation, then I dealt with it. I made that choice. If she snuck that shit 10 years into this thing and now she got an OnlyFans page and doing shit I ain't never seen her do with me, no, sir, that can't happen. You get what I'm saying? So you see, so it depends on
let me ask this. If you met, so I feel like actually, all right, that's consistent. That's consistent logic. But would you get with a woman that was on OnlyFans, or if she was a big time, porn star, she was Jenna Jameson level, you know what I'm saying? She was just getting it in. would you be like, all right, that's wifey right there? I'm watching her on the
Hell
screen
no.
as wife. You said
Hell,
what?
hell
Oh, that's
no.
the point.
'Cause
Her value is
I know, I
trash.
definitely. But see, that girl right there, see, she doesn't need to be on the scene. Like if she's having sex with man after man after man for money or no money, it's that person is somebody that I choose not to be with. You see what I'm saying? Because I think that your worth to yourself is going to be going down. You see what I mean? You're going to lose your self-worth. But the person that's taking pictures and they may get likes, this girl may be super confident. You see what I'm saying? She may find life to be exactly what you know what I'm saying? She may be one of those girls who can manifest the things that she see, but she just caught up in the wrong vision, and she's manifesting getting what she want through picture posting. You see what I'm saying? So if that person can change the way she's focused, change the lens, go this way, she could run a business. You see what I mean? And use her beauty to bring more and more customers in. You see what I mean? So it's not a negative thing to use what you have. Ain't nothing wrong with a dude being muscular, going out there showing his shirt, you know what I mean, ripping his shirt off, showing his muscles. It's nothing wrong with if you are beautiful as a woman to show your beauty. The part where we lose is that we engage into activity that bring our self identity down. Don't matter what another nigga want to think about you. You see what I mean? Because you, no matter how far you go, as long as you got that self, that, you know what I mean, that thing that clicks you back into place, you'll always build yourself back up to being on your feet. So as long as, you know what I mean, but a lot of activities that we do will bring us into ideas that will stick in our mind, that makes us judge ourselves in a way that is like gonna bring about depression, gonna bring about loneliness, gonna make us, and I see it in women a lot, that make us say, well, I ain't worthy, I'm not good enough, I ain't this. And it's really because you're looking in your past and you don't see the things in your that you like there. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a lot.
Okay, I want to say this because first let's understand, by your own admission, your own hell. It wasn't like nah, I wouldn't do it. It was like hell no, because
Hell,
you know good and damn well that you know, as you, since you value yourself, you like, I can't bring this hoe in my space. I can't bring this woman that, and I don't know if y'all seen the video. My holes are on the internet. You don't want to bring the woman that got all her holes on the internet for all these different dudes that been running up in her to be your, like, oh, this is mine, this is my special prize. You like, nah, man, that car been driven by everybody. It got 500,000 miles on it. I'm straight. Not only just 500,000 miles, but it's 500,000 miles, and it's been on commercials, it's been on movies, the same dang on car. You like, dang, I see that car on everything. Everybody's using it. You're gonna be like, nah, I'm straight. Why? Not because it ain't about if she values herself a certain way, because her self values low. And you're gonna be like, men that value themselves are not going to take a product that is that garbage, that cheap, that useless. We're gonna be like, nah, that's not nothing that I want to have in my house. I want a new couch in my living room. I don't want a couch with the roaches and rats that's been all up in there. I don't want that. I want something that's actually, presentable. And again, at the end of the day, too, men, we have what we call trophy wives. We want our wife to be something that's shining and nice to look at on a mantle. We don't want something that is looking up and like, dang, look, there's nut stains right here on her face, right there. Like, no, man, we straight.
Unfortunately, though, some of these 304s that they call these hoes are getting married, and for the younger chicks,
exactly.
they seeing that they're not. As an older woman, okay, I can see, okay, well, maybe that man is not a quality man, but for some of these young women that are seeing some of these celebrities that are going out, twerking it, throwing it up, they still have husbands. There's plenty of porn stars that are married. There are plenty of strippers that are still getting married. So that's why you hear some people say, well, the hoes are still winning.
The hoes ain't winning. They just married to women. I
But
hope
right,
y'all
but
caught that.
for some women, they don't look at it like that, because what do y'all say? But you ain't married, but they're getting married. They may not be quality men, but they're getting married. Somebody's marrying them.
They don't like their relationship. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You finna say something, Morgan?
Go, go ahead, go ahead. I lost what I was gonna say. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, damn, Rick said something that I wanted to say. But
Oh, furniture, having nobody want to bring in that couch with the roaches that's been in it.
exactly. Like when we say like, but Monica hit it too, is that the same woman that we feel like is trash is another man's treasure. You see what I mean? And it only takes, like, think about it, a man who can be an asshole, cheat on his girl all the time. At some point, he looks like a good man. You see what I'm saying? If he continues those practices, is he a good man? You see what I mean? So what a person is in their life, they're on a journey. You see what I mean? So what a man say, damn, she's a slut right there. But she's still journeying. You see what I mean? So I see that people are potential that are in use. So whatever you are, but you have the potential to change based over time and programming of the mind. You see what I mean? But I don't know. So it's just like it's definitely. I wanted to say something totally, but you was saying something because it was like, damn, it'll come back to me, man. But I'll wait.
I want to hit on some that I was also touched on as far as because I know, like I said, people say the hoes are winning. Even matter of fact, I missed this earlier. Monica said she had mentioned earlier how women have mixed messages. They're confused, right? I don't really think it's such mixed messages. They just don't understand men because they don't listen to men. If they listen to us, there would be no mixed message. We're straight up telling you, like, and I can tell you, as a married man, and understanding that I should not be out sleeping with different sisters running around. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we got to have discipline. We got to have a disciplined mind because we understand the importance of, of who we're dealing with and what could come from sex. So I'm saying all this to say, a men at the end of the day, my natural inclination is to want to sleep with the woman. My natural inclination, if I'm walking through and I go in Club Walmart, you know what I'm saying, a la Marcus, you know what I'm saying, I go in Club Walmart and I see somebody with these tight stretch pants on. Guess what? If I see, I'm like, damn, she got fat ass. That's gonna be in my mind. I'm gonna think that, and it's gonna go there, and ain't nothing we can do about it because that's our natural inclination is to notice those things. So if we're scrolling down on our phone and we like looking through, oh, Instagram, we gonna notice, you know, some nice looks. You know, we're gonna see the woman on TikTok that's probably gonna be twerking or something. We're gonna, which myself, I know I have to hurry up and scroll off. Why? Because I'm going to, if I leave any space of time, I'm going to be looking at it. I'm gonna be sitting here staring at this. So our natural feelings, our emotions, we're drawn to that. It goes back to what I was talking about. When I met my wife, I was attracted to her appearance, her physical appearance. I was drawn to that. I wasn't thinking, ooh, I bet she is a very sweet girl. Bet she has a nice personality. I bet she's really intelligent. I wonder if she had straight A's in school. I don't give a damn about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, let me look at that. I got, man, I would love to hit that one day. That's what we thinking. You know what I'm saying? Most brothers don't want to admit that, but that's what we first initially thinking. So looks and lust will get us in the door, but we can help after that. We can definitely help if we want to be with this woman or not. We can definitely help. Hey, is she actually worth it? So going back to the point, as far as being a mixed message, initially, we're always going to be attracted to the physical beauty of a woman. We're going to be attracted to, if somebody got oh, look, she got a big old ass. She got, she got double D titties. Like, we're going to be looking at these things. We're going to look at those lips. Man, I bet she's good with them lips. Like, brothers thinking these things. I'm saying what brothers be thinking, you know what I'm saying? But we be thinking that stuff. But at the end of the day, we know, okay, we're thinking about legacy. So when we're thinking about, we know we can't help who we love, because do I want this woman to raise my daughters and my sons? Do I want this woman to, and Showtime, you said it earlier, represent me? Now, if I know she's liable to pull some Jada Pinkett shit, you know what I'm saying, and start embarrassing me, I'm not about to make that choice. I don't care how good she looks. So it ain't really a mixed message. It's just like, no, we see that physically. Yeah, we're gonna always be physically drawn to that, but we're not going to marry that because we understand the importance of our legacy. The women are confused, don't understand that only weak men are going to diminish their legacy because they don't think they have much. They don't think they have options anyway. They don't think they can choose from the women in the field because they already understand ain't too many sisters checking for them.
Hey, so it made me come back to me. So when you remember I said hell no, I wouldn't date that lady, right? And the reason why is because of the environment that type of energy is going to create. You see what I mean? That type of environment is going to have so much fluff around it, so much, you know what I mean? When it's baking, it's going to be so much exhaust or whatever you want to see, just so much stuff that's going to be surrounding that lifestyle that's going to be within this woman. But that same woman get the same no that the drama woman bring, you know what I mean, that gets. So this woman that's filled with drama, she may not have been out slutting or doing negative with a vagina, but she has this attitude that is always bringing about drama and situations of arguments and confusions. She get that same you know what I'm saying? So she's there in the same boat. It's just that what environment am I going to be around, surround myself in? Because I know that the environment is the thing that's going to be the driving force for growth. So if I can't deal with this person, if I can't talk to this person, if we can't have a communication about why you feel frustrated with what I just done, and you can't put it into words that are respectful and understanding and clear and precise about what you know, I mean, not just precise, but just giving me a roundabout of like how it's affecting you. You see what I mean? So I wanted a person that could teach that to my children, because for me, it is about the next level. You see what I mean? Because I know the power is within the stages that continue to come about. You know what I mean? So if you can have a powerful mind, you're gonna probably get that to your child. And that child gonna go out and have experience with this powerful mind and probably replicate and do the same. So that's what I think about when I'm building my children and when I chose my wife. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely was attracted. You see what I mean? So that played a very big part in, I mean, why I even looked at her. So
And I do wanted to touch on that because you said, you had to choose. Showtime, you had to choose. You chose qualities for in your wife that was go be passed down to your children, and that's very important because when you really examine our women need for attention from men, it shows that they do need a man. It shows that they're not going to value themselves unless they get value from a man. And that man is always the father. The father has to show the women, the daughters, the value. Without that, that's why the attention need is so high. And that's why it's really not the attention, it's the quality of the attention. And for a woman, the top quality of attention that a woman can get is from her father. So Showtime, I'm glad you said that because it's kind of showing that our children need that certain qualities from the parents, and that's what it is for our daughters, is that attention.
hey, and that's why, Marcus, that's why I hate when women say, "Oh, I'm an independent. I don't need no man." And I say they must then grow up with their fathers. You know what I mean? Because if you did grow with your father, you see the value of that. And if you didn't grow with your father, you see the value of not having your father. And you would probably want someone to not have those negative experiences you had, not having that male energy there. But there was a comment that the guy said, I just read this, said like, you told the girl to go get the bag, and you saying now it could ruin your chances. I didn't say, what do you say? You're telling women go get your bag, but at the same time, it'll ruin your chances of getting a man. I never said what's going to ruin your chances of getting a man, right? But the energy that you possess, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the energy within. You see what I mean? If you go get that bag and that bag brings you energy that's negative, now you got all these demons. It don't matter about your bag. That bag is a bunch of trees that's been painted in a certain way, and you have been brainwashed to have value on these trees. But for me, the value is you. You see what I mean? So the value is you, the one who can pick the damn trees up and turn it any kind of color. So it's not about the bag. You see what I mean? Nor being married. Being married gives the woman the best the best chance to fully express her whole self. And when she fully expresses her whole self, that brings a man into his ultimate self. Because we need her more than she needs us. She created us. You know what I mean? So to say that a woman doesn't understand a man, I think is vice versa. A man doesn't understand a woman because a woman created him, and then you're trying to tell the creator what you should do. You see what I mean? That's where the misunderstanding come from. All men came out of one of these beings. You see what I mean? And it's in all walks of life. That's why even right now, my children love their daddy to death, like because daddy here every day. You know what I mean? But there is a connection from knowing that this is the person that I came out of. This is the one who barely pushed. You see what I mean? So, and I welcome that love, and I care for my mom 10 times as harder too. You know, even though my mom passed when I was 8. You know what I mean? But it's just the value that is within a woman is so powerful, man. And I think that, and I hope I answered that question to the sister, because that's my whole point. It's not about the money. If the money builds you into a way that brings you confidence within yourself, you can wake up in the morning and say, "Good morning, beautiful," like Mary wanted you to say. If you can look at yourself and you can be happy, if you got something that you want to change, you say, "Okay, I'm gonna change this about me," and you can go on and do that. That's what the one I'm talking about. And even when I was talking about the girl that was getting a bag, I said she could be one of those girls who can manifest what she thinks. You see what I mean? Manifest what she thinks. And I just say if she can alter that vision, and she can manifest anything. But now, Coley, that's what the biblical thing says, that man created woman. But men don't have the things that women have. Men don't have ovaries and none of that. But we in today's time period can see women giving birth to men that have penises. So obviously, I think you have it backwards. The woman has to be the creator because she's creating something that she doesn't physically have. She inside of her stomach. You can say, "Oh, I brought the seed." Yeah, you brought the seed with the semen, but it was her body that formed all of those things. You see what I mean? So, and it even grew from her because she had to push it out. There was a cord connected to her. They breathed in unison. You get what I'm saying? So you kill her, you kill it. So it's obviously connected to her, and it's her body that changes. Ask a woman. They went through it. They had to go through the changes. When they was pregnant, it was a cyst that came to let their body know that this is to stop releasing eggs. You see what I mean? So it's a super intelligence that is within that being that is so powerful, and we belittling it. You know what I mean? And it's like, but they have also belittled it because they love us, and our image is being projected to them about themselves. And I just want women to know, like, y'all the shit, and y'all need to find that self-love to where y'all go out and can praise each other. You don't need to go into church and be like, "Oh, you know what I mean," in the prayer in front of what you think is God or whatever you're trying to create in a religion. But you can praise your sister because you know she doing the same thing you're trying to do. Live a life that's worth living and be beautiful at all times and bring about change that you want. You see what I mean? That's the ultimate praise. You know what I mean? Me and Rick, we have different ideologies, but I can talk to this man for hours because it's a respect thing. You get what I'm saying? It's not about, I can say, "Bro, you're a king. You're a king, Marcus." You know what I'm saying? Monica, I believe you a queen. And I'll never see you as less than that. You get what I mean? Until you present yourself in a way that I'm like, why are they doing that? So that's my take.
Yeah, I want to
Sometimes,
go into
oh,
so much
go
on the
ahead, Rick.
women
Go ahead.
thing. Oh no, yeah, I'm ready to go,
I just
Marcus.
want to
I
say
want to
one
go.
thing.
Go
I just
ahead. Go
want to
ahead.
say one thing. You can go. Showtime. If the women body is so sacred, tell them to get it off TikTok. Tell them to get it off the internet.
But Marcus, wouldn't you
If
agree?
it's that sacred, then we have to tell them to stop to treat it as such.
Do you agree that
That's
your
all I'm
penis
saying.
is sacred? Do you agree that your penis is sacred?
Yeah, because they come together. It's
Right. But
the
we
man
also
and the
got to
woman
tell
is
men to keep
equally.
that thing out of women at the wrong time. We have,
I agree with you.
you see what I
I
mean? So we
I
can't tell women shit because the problem lies within men just as deeper.
I agree with it, but men ain't posting that they dick pics on OnlyFans for and
Yes, they are.
making millions of dollars off of it.
No, because they making
But
millions because
it,
we want to see it. We
it's
do.
it's not a market for dick pics.
Because women not buying that shit. Because this
Exactly.
Because if Monica probably can tell you, or she got a friend that's real close to her, some nigga or some white boy or whatever you want to look at, then called her or sent her a message, say, "Hey, how you doing?" Dick pic.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And
then.
women tell men all the
Yeah,
time, we don't even want to see those. We're not trying to get
Exactly.
those. We're not attracted to
exactly.
those. That's not a turn on.
So I'm saying men. So
Right.
that same dude, the same woman that you see
That's not a
TikTok,
market for dick pics. That's what I
but
just
it
said.
is
They don't,
happening right now, though,
they don't
Marcus.
want to see it. I'm
They
just
don't want to
saying.
see it.
I'm just saying. If the women's body is sacred, then they gotta treat it as such. If they
You
want us to treat it, that's
you
that's
right.
that's what I say about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter got to matter to black people first.
Facts. Facts.
Same thing with the women. If you not gonna respect your body, why should the men?
Marcus, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the TikTok lady, so first off, I'm gonna ask you two questions.
All right,
What percentage, now we're gonna talk about black women because that's my focus. You know what I mean? I love my
right.
queens, right? But what percentage of our queens do you think is out here TikToking and showing themselves off, like the image that we're talking about, right?
I
What
don't. I don't
percentage?
think it's. I don't think it's a high percentage.
Me neither, right? So when we say it, we can't have the inclination, or you know what I mean, the persona that we looking at all these women as being a representation of
Hey,
our queen.
hold on. Let
Because
me throw this real quick. I don't want to cut you off, but hey, hold on. The low percentage is because not every woman want to be seen. We just not talk about not everybody want to see a man's dick pics. Not everybody want to see. We don't want to see 300, not a 304. We see 304-pound women trying to do. No, we don't want to see that shit. No, we want to
but
see
that goes
a
back,
nice looking woman get up on her and do it. So yeah, there's
right?
a difference.
But
Not
Rick,
every woman is desirable to see.
that goes back to what you was talking about discipline. You see the woman, she got a big ass booty. You wanna touch it. You get what I'm saying? But you have the discipline to just admire. So that girl can say, "Oh, I want to show myself," because there's plenty of them. It's popular. It's probably plenty of women that would want to show their cleavage a little bit more, but there's a discipline and there's a self-respect. And that's why me and Marcus can both agree that it's not a whole lot of our queens that's out there doing that. It's a percentage that get personified at a high rate because they do look very good and their bodies are in shape and they, you know what I mean? So those women get glorified. But it's a bunch of queens that are doing it right that ain't doing it, don't have that type of energy, that can't find a man and then go get a man or find a man that don't do her right, or whatever the situation is. And now, based on your experience, you are going to be whatever you be, you will be it. You get what I'm saying? So it makes life is a math problem that's ongoing. It's not going to, you see what I mean? Because some factors come in, now you're going to have to constantly factor in that factor. So it's not just cut and dry. Everybody has a tolerance for things or what they've been through and how they mesh it all together and then project it out. You see what I mean? So everybody's not going to, you know what I mean? Twins can go through the same experiences and have a whole different outward look on life. So it's just like, you know what I mean? I didn't read that one, Rick. I didn't get a chance to read that last one. Fuck.
And read that. Please make this make sense. Women show their bodies for attention from men, but get mad because men would disrespect them when they, in fact, are not respecting themselves.
I agree with that. You know what I mean? But you got to really understand what percentage of women you're talking about. You see what I mean? So you can't put that label. You gotta have to understand, like you gotta be able to, with your conscience, know that all women ain't even doing that at all. There are some women that won't show nobody. Will we agree with that? Some women ain't.
Hey, there's a very, very small percentage. And when I say ain't showing nobody, because just because they might not show it on the internet, they showing it in their hoods. They showing it in their, you know what I'm saying, in the club. Wherever they at, they still showing it for free. It's just different. It's different levels. I'm gonna be honest. The vast majority of women are giving it up like hotcakes. You know what I'm saying? They passing it around. They like Oprah. You get some titties. You get some ass. You get some coochie. You know what I'm saying? They just passing it around all day. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no discretion, no discernment, none of those things. Why? Because they'll say you can't help who you love when they only want to accept the fact that it's really you can't help who you lust after, and then disciplining that lust and being able to control it. Because and I do want to touch on this really fast because you did mention something, Showtime, saying because we were saying like lust, like it's all bad. Lust is not always bad. There are times when it's good to lust after because we all are. It's just desire, and we're going to desire different things in life. There's nothing wrong with that, but we have to be able to control the desire. The desire is controlling us. Then it goes into having lack of discipline, lack of self-control, lack of the ability to control our emotions, which again is tough for women. It's tougher for women to control their emotions because they aren't as they're not as rooted and structured in the honor system that men will have. We'll have a code of honor to go with, and then the women are obviously supposed to fall in line with that. We're supposed to be ones to be like, we can help who we love. We can help who we choose. Women are supposed to be the ones that might just fall into anything because women, we all know they don't know what the hell they want. But that's a whole nother topic we get in another day. But they don't know what they want. Men do. There's a difference. But that's because they can't control their lust. They can't control them emotions.
And I definitely want to address that. But I wanted to ask Marcus. So the second question I wanted to ask you was, so I want to ask you what percentage of that, and then for like the women that we are talking about that are out there loose, what percentage of that do you think is a mind state? Okay, this person or this female is putting herself out there on TikTok and getting likes or follows or whatever, getting money from it. What percentage of that action do you believe is a mental thing that is happening in the mind and not just the body? You see what I mean? Is it a mental
100%.
fact?
I agree with him 100%.
So don't you believe that we are living in a society that is perfecting mind control and forcing actions without forcing the action? Don't you probably think that we are the targets for most of those things?
Oh yeah. We
You
go ahead. My bad.
You see what I mean?
You're gonna take us down the road that we exactly 100% believe in.
Go
ahead, Marcus. You got it.
But we gonna go.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean? So
let's stay on topic because we'll go somewhere else with it. But let's make sure we keep it on topic.
Factors, though, that's all I'm just saying. Those factors you have to factor in. You can't just say, "Oh," because they don't know. Because a woman knows more than a woman awareness is a lot higher than us. We only feel us. We've never felt what it feels like to be one of those beings. We only know male. We've only been around males. So I always say women can't drive, right? I say women can't drive, but I believe that women can't drive because they are unable to turn off their awareness. You see what I'm saying? So they aware of this car, that car, how fast this car is going, what's going on in the back seat. You see what I mean? It's a lot of shit that's happening at one time. But for men, we can go tunnel vision, baby. We got that sexual drive. You see what I mean? We can say when a man is on that sexual drive or focus on something. I'm only knowing from a male perspective. There's nothing else that matters. When I'm running, that football was being thrown in the game and I'm looking for it, I couldn't hear the crowd. I couldn't hear the dude running beside me trying to stop me. I focused it out. You know what I'm saying? So I know women probably have that capacity also. You see what I mean? But I'm saying, but that deep focus and really want to get this ball made everything go numb and silent. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. So, yeah. And I want to, because we've been focusing on the women. So for this to answer or respond to what you just said, Showtime, I'm gonna do it on the men's side, just because we've been focusing on the women. So for the men, I mean, for all of us, there is factors that we have to factor in to look at that or drives our behavior. Mm-hmm. And I want to respond to that on the men's side. On the men's side, it's killing, drugs, and all of that. So with that being glorified for the men, what they do, they go out, sell drugs, they getting the money and all this stuff. And what that do, that leads to incarceration, that leads to a bad record. That leads to them having a bad record, that leads to them only being qualified for a minority of jobs. So then that takes the ability to provide, because they went out and got a record. You know, so I'm just responding this from the man side instead of the women's side. So you're 100% right. It is a mind frame. It is a mentality, because our mentality is so jacked up to where our people will throw trash in their own neighborhoods. You know, they will, like, it's a mentality. So the thing of how do you fix a mentality, how do you fix a broken mentality like that, is through accountability. The only way to fix somebody is to get out of denial. So that's the thing, to where it's harder for women to get out the state that they're in, because it's a lack of accountability from us, from men. It's a lack of accountability that from them, and it's a lack of accountability from other women. So what's that's gonna do? It's gonna keep that these forces that's driving this behavior, it's gonna keep them successful, because the accountability is non-existence. So that's why I say, when people have to start looking at their outcomes. And then for men and women, you have to look at yourself. If a woman's value went down, it's because you did this, you did XYZ. If a man value went down, because our value is what? Provide, protect, you know, and got the house. So if our value goes down to where we can't get certain jobs to do that, providing is one of the number top. I won't say number one, but it's up there. So should we say, you know, should we just acknowledge the factors that driving this, or should we start doing accountability first? Because the first step to fixing yourself is admitting that you have a problem. And that's the first step. So I just wanted to touch on it from the men's side, so the women don't think we hitting them, because Monica been quiet for
Definitely been quiet. I was gonna say, Monica, please go.
No, I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in. I'm just listening. It's a lot being said, so I'm just listening to everybody's viewpoints on everything.
Okay, so what you got on there? You got any thoughts on what you've been hearing? Anything you want to add to it? What you got?
I definitely think accountability is a huge problem for men and women, that we're not accountable for a lot of our actions. I know I've had that problem within my own life. I've seen it with friends where, for women, we're not really understanding why we're in the position that we're in until we get older. Because when you're younger, you're not thinking about those things, and so that's why we are ending up being damaged early on, and then looking back and being like, why am I in this position? And so accountability, for unfortunately, is not taking place until later in our lives, where then we're trying to fix it, but now we're coming along with children and damage and trauma, because we're not being accountable for our actions at all. So I do believe, yeah, the first step to fixing a lot of things is we have to admit that we have a lot of problems, and that's both on the men's side and the women's side. Because I'm seeing a lot of men, as they get older, you've got these felonies, you can't get a job, and they're not realizing that until they're getting older, and they realize, no, I can't be a provider. I can't do things that I want to do in life because of all the decisions I made in the past. I think it's a huge problem within the Black community. We do what we want to do until we get older, and then we look back and like, oh, well, that's why I'm in the position that I'm in.
Yeah, and it affects who you love. We go back to that. It can't help who you love. If you're the man with all them felonies and you can't be that provider, then the women that you're searching for, the woman you desire, ain't checking for you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and you kind of have to now. You have to lower them standards and have to be like, dang, here's my expectations. I can't look for these no more. Same thing with sisters. Yeah, you done because the men, they were trying to get to the bag, but they're trying to get to the bag the wrong way. And guess what they ended up doing? Getting you felonies, getting you, all this jail time, getting you. The women gonna be wondering, well, shoot, you was in a pen. You know what I'm saying? How many niggas done got that butt? You know what I'm saying? They got to ask that question. And women, I do know women. And by the way, it's funny how they be saying that you need to look past my past history. But I guarantee you, I've asked you ask a bunch of women, 9 out of 10 of them will say if a man was getting smashed by dudes doing some gay stuff, she gonna be like, hell no, she's not going. Just like a man, and then they don't understand how if a man's gonna be like, you got smashed by a bunch of dudes, we like hell no, because they both result in something that's gonna bring about that disgusting feeling. You know what I'm saying? That a woman's gonna see that man as as a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, ooh, he's not. That's feminine. You know what I'm saying? That man's gonna see her as masculine, unruly, bad decision maker, horrible judgment. Ooh, these are not good qualities of a woman that I want to, be my wife. So you know what? Since I can help who I love, I opt out. You know what I'm saying? I'm choosing another direction. So it all goes into stuff like that. We got to really it's about taking accountability. Really go full circle. Marcus had touched on this Showtime and Monica. Hey, accountability. Are we actually going to just say, you know what? It ain't about we can't help. We're making these choices that led us in the situation. The men were lusting after that money the wrong way, and they got them felonies. Now the women they can get aren't as high, and then the women lusting, so-called looking for love in all the wrong places. Guess what happens to them? They got 6, 7 kids later, maybe 3, 4, whatever it is. Either way, you know what I'm saying? For real, most dudes, one kid is too many. Yeah, you got somebody else's kid, you got somebody else's child. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's not my legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Now, not every man's like that, but a big high percentage of us are.
We're all shopping off the clearance rack at this point. All shopping off the clearance rack.
Hey, and I'll say this too.
I ain't never heard that before. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Shopping off the clearance rack. I gotta use that.
And I'll say this. When it comes to women and men being accountable, I don't think that it's a man's job to tell a woman how she should be accountable. You know what I mean? I think it's a accountable elder woman that can show a younger queen coming up how this works. You know what I mean? And it may not be a parent, it may not be a grandparent, it may be an aunt or a lady that's within the city that that mama trust or whatever, or daddy trust or whatever. But when it goes back to love, though, when it goes back to love, how do you teach your children? How were we taught how to love? You see what I mean? If we really break down the psychology, because we talked about being in a system that's forcing an idea with a blind hand, right? So how did we learn about love? Who taught us about love and how the interaction should go and what a man should do? And you see what I mean? If you really be honest with yourself, a lot of your ideas was formed off of cartoons, the movies. You see what I'm saying? A lot of fake characters that fairy tale endings. My shit, a lot of came from Boys to Men. Like Boys to Men was like teaching me how, because just singing the song, you know what I mean? You want to feel them type of, one song that I always, what kind of man would I be if I lived unfaithfully?
And mid condition went hard.
What kind of girl would you be? So that was one that stuck with me, that had a positive resonance on me. Like it matters that person that you say, hey, I'm gonna hold it down, that you hold it down. You see what I mean? It was a time when we was growing up. I think all four of us are old enough to remember when your word was bond. You know what I mean? When all you needed was your word. Now you need your signature. You see what I mean? So it ain't even your word no more. It's that signature. So, but I think that when it comes to love, especially dealing with sex and stuff, nobody teaches us how to deal with it. So a lot of times when it comes to love and sex, it get intertwined with how it feels, and you know what I mean. Am I doing it right? If it doesn't feel right, is it the right person? You know what I mean. So and then especially with the woman, it being a muscle, it's something that's so sacred that nobody teaches you how to deal with it except in the times of the cycle. You see what I mean? But nobody teaches a woman how pleasure should feel. With a man, if you look at a dog, if you just look at dogs, they'll hump anything. You get what I'm saying? And they'll hump it until they feel the the explosion. But a female, nobody's. I think it's something that has to be taught. Muscle is something that is dynamic and it's unique. So it's something that needs to be cultivated in a certain way. You see me? You build your muscle group. You don't just throw all the mass on it. You know what I mean? Just push, push, push. It's a way to build that's in a controlled rate that will give you the maximum amount of what you're trying to do with that muscle. So I just think that it's no teaching. Nobody taught us how to interact with the woman. It's just, the birds and the bees. This is, you a man and that's a woman and y'all for each other. You know what I mean?
And then it may go a little deeper, but I think we also forget within the Black community the secrets that we're holding about how much molestation is going on in the Black community with young children. So just like Showtime said, nobody's teaching the young kids, but they're being touched. And we're hiding those secrets. And not talking about uncle such and such and aunt such and such who's touching on the kids, and we're confusing what sex and love is, and we're starting it's playing out in a lot of our adulthoods because our girls are very over sexualized even by their family members when they're younger. It's causing a lot of confusion once women get older because we're not having those real discussions, and we're keeping a lot of secrets about what's going on in these homes in the Black community.
Hey, we are coming to that too. Hey, by the way, that the topic on girls being touched and stuff like that. We definitely and of course y'all know in the group, remind me of that because we definitely coming to that because there's a lot I got on it. There's a lot that's really, really, yeah. It's something we really touch on because as you said, the conversations ain't being had in the Black community. It's a lot of hush hush, and that's got to stop. You know what I'm saying? We actually it's got to be for one. We got to put the awareness out there, like Marcus said. We got to admit there's a problem. And that is a huge fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. It is a huge problem. And it's very, we're talking about being things destructive to our people. That's very destructive. And we got to do something about it. So yeah, it's definitely something we'll touch on. I want to touch on one more question because we can get ready to close out pretty soon. But I did hit I was looking at some of the comments and I seen that outstanding question I did love in here. But if anybody has something that was on the last comment, I want to let them go before I ask that question. Okay, just checking. All right, I'm gonna go to Christina's quick comment because it was a great comment. It said, "Can you help who you love when your options are limited?" And so I'm gonna just go around the circle, everybody, just real quick, whatever you think. Can you help who you love when your options are limited? Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead. What you got?
I think when your options are limited, it's not about love. It's about getting the best deal you can get. At some point, it's not about love. Like when you got children, it's like it's not even about you no more. It's not about you. It's about those children. So at some point, it's not even about love.
Monica, what you got on the topic? What you got?
I love that question because I was thinking the same thing. Like when I said that clearance rack, and once you move over to that clearance rack, you're just trying to get the best deal that's on that rack. You trying to get whatever is left over, and you trying to find the best thing that you can find on that rack. Once you've bypass the prime price, and you down to the clearance rack, and your market value has went down. At that point, you kind of can't help who you love. You just going for the best option with what's given to you.
All right, Showtime coming to you.
Yeah, like to that question is like, what's 2 plus 2? And the answer is 4. Marcus hit that like it is no other answer. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like that's perfectly said. Like, but but I want to say this about the question, right? It's like for me, the question is like a limitation of the brain. You see what I mean? It's like when if two men given inheritance walk out to their land at the same time and they see they got 20 acres One man has see there's nothing there. He like, damn, ain't nothing here, it's just this land. The other man sees the same thing. There's nothing there. It's just this land. But one man sees that, damn, where there's nothing there, there's potential for everything. You get what I'm saying? So when we start to think about our possible futures, I have never had a limit on my mind. You see what I mean? Now, things may not work out the way I want to, but my mind will never limit me to see I only have, I only got that much to do. So in my mind, if that is it, I have the will to forge the tool to open up another door. You see what I mean? So I know that there's other levels in this universe. So now I know I'm never stuck in one level. It's just my awareness of the things around me. But to fit inside your question, I will do that. And I would just say, Marcus hit it on the head.
Hey, I will touch on one thing. You know why you said all of that stuff? Because I mean, you talking about the women are awesome and great. What, by the way, sisters are my sisters are outstanding. I love our sisters, man. We got the most beautiful women on the planet. They can not they can produce our children. They can do it at an outstanding rate. They can raise our children. There's nobody else I'd rather choose than our beautiful Israelite women. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing better than the Hebrew woman. We just can't. Ain't nothing can touch them. And all the other nations on the earth know that. But before I go too much into that tangent, I do want to say, here's why you can open up that door, because you are a God on the earth. We are the gods of the earth. The women don't possess the same power as us. They don't possess the same ability, the same options. They have the ability. We have the ability to get better with age. You know what I'm saying? Women, they hit this thing called a wall. And that wall is undefeated. It can't be broken through. It can't be stopped. You hit that wall, you're only going to go backwards. You get to the top of that mountain, you're going to go down. Women don't have wings. They don't have a jetpack where they can just keep flying up into the sky. They get to the top of the mountain, they got to go back down. And that's just a fact. That's a fact of life. So when we're talking about what are women, is the question, can you help who you love when your options are limited? Yes, you can help, because you can choose within your spectrum. Like Marcus said, you got to hammer out a deal. All right, what's the best deal you can get right here? What's the best available item on that clearance rack? You know what I'm saying? But somebody help who you love, as far as their options gonna go down. That's why it's that much important for women to actually be directed correctly and actually have the option. And that's another topic I'm gonna get on. I was gonna do it tonight, but I'm gonna save that probably next week when I go into it, as far as should women be raised to be wives? But we'll touch on that later. Or the other one was going to be should women choose their mates? But anyway, we're gonna save that. But anyways, bottom line, let me finish this real quick. But with that being said, according to today's comment, you pretty much men telling women they're doomed in their late 30s and beyond doomed. In them 30s and late 30s, it's tough sledding. It is tough sledding. But if the X factor is if you get your mind right, which a lot of times ain't gonna happen, because that woman has had all that time, or even men, people get set in their ways. So usually that person that got to that point of being completely idiotic in their foolish decisions, they're gonna still be that same person. If they can change, then that's a huge wrench in it. But as you said, you open up that door to bust open that ceiling and reach new heights. Hey, women can't open up that door and push them kids back in. You know what I'm saying? They can't do it. Them kids are out. That's theirs. You know what I'm saying? Men are going to see that like, oh, yeah, you got these other kids from these other men. Yeah, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Again, it always goes back to that. But I had other comments. Oh, yeah, my fault. And the looks declining. Men are looking at looks. Again, what's initially going to draw us in? Looks. We talked about looking at Instagram models and all that. Attraction. Once that attraction starts to fade, which does hit around that time, as Kevin Samuels used to eloquently say, he didn't say the wall. What did he say? The danger zone. Hit that danger zone, and it starts to get ugly for you.
But I definitely got to address like the ceiling comment like that. But so just think about that. So men are the gods of the earth, right? We are the gods of the earth, right? But I think women are the goddesses of the earth. But not only are they the goddesses of the earth, we can reach those new levels. But the only way you go into any level is through a portal. Women are walking around with a portal. You came through a portal. They are the universe that the men are gods of. You understand? So you don't go higher than your creator. You came through a portal, and the thing that came through a portal to reach this universe, being the male, sits on a throne and says, I'm higher than that which I came forth from. You know what I mean? So to say a woman can't reach the ceiling, they are the womb to even get through to the next level. Everything is a womb. You see what I mean? Just you gotta really look at the universe. If you go back to all the stories, it started with a cosmic ocean. You see what I mean? It all starts with the female. The only one is not that doesn't start with the female would be Judaism or Christianity. All the others start with a female entity or energy that bring forth life. If you think about even seeds, the female seed is the bearer of the fruit. You see what I mean? Like
No
the
such thing as a female seed.
it is a such thing. It is a such thing as a female seed. There's a female, not a woman seed. A woman is what Monica is. You see what I mean? The female is the essence that drives what she is, that makes these girls, when they reach a certain age, they now are ready for to bring forth children. That's the female. That's the female energy. It's an energy force that's driving what we would call a woman. It's behind her. It's you see what I mean. So just like the sun, that energy of the light protrudes through the sun. That energy of the female protrudes through the woman, and it protrudes through the female dog. They give birth to. But I mean, I just don't get how that being that formulates everything is not what we consider the creator. The creators are we feel like you know what I mean, a man is higher than I just you know what I mean, other than the Bible, we have never seen a male create a woman unless we're doing it artificially. We know, like if y'all two right now, if a man ran up to you and hit your daddy, your first instinct gonna be like, damn, daddy, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, if a man ran up and hit your mama, there is no instinct that's gonna make you say shit. Your instincts are going to immediately say, protect, kill them. That's it. You see what I mean? Unless you got a strong hatred for your mother. So, but the protection for the mom is very high because you know that is the creator of you. She gave you her skin. You came out of her. So it's just like, and not only did you come out of her, her body was built to feed you. You see what I mean? It was built to feed you when you came. So the best children, the brain activity that works the best are the ones who are breastfed by mama. Why? Because mama, being the creator, creates milk from her breast that gives you the best result of brain development.
Hey, when we go into who's stronger and who's the stronger sex, who is more important, men or women, yeah, I'm definitely getting you on. We going because you gonna make me veer off into so much, and I just gotta stop myself. You don't make me stop like 50 times, but we gonna get that. We gonna get that. Yeah, I'm I'm gonna get one more. What was that? I'm gonna get one more because I think I seen another comment, a question that was good. It was
What did the last person just say, Rick? I couldn't read it while I was talking. My brain on
Oh
one thing.
no, I was gonna. Oh, I was gonna touch it. It was should you just turn to cats or do you keep searching? As women, do we need to accept that sometimes it might be over for us? And it depends on, now you're talking about it might be over. There's a possibility that it could be, but then again, of course, you know that anything can happen. Anything's possible. So even if you're a 65-year-old woman, you might meet a 65-year-old man with the same mindset as you that could happen. Now, is the probability low? Absolutely. You probably need to start looking at your potential of certain things like hitting a lottery. We got to just accept sometimes the probability is low and yeah, you're in a bad spot. And as far as what if a woman can't have children? Again, even if regardless if somebody can help it or not, that affects her value. If a woman can't have children, a lot of men are going to be like, well, dang. Now, sometimes a man might find out later after he's fallen in love, and then it is what it is. You know, they're going to accept that lifestyle. But a lot of men are going to be like, childbearing and legacy is important to them. And if they do have her, they may have to have that discussion with their wife. Hey, well, hey, can I get this woman to have my children? Because if the woman really, loves her, if she values her man that much, she's going to want her. She's going to want her husband. Never mind, I'm not going down that road right now. Let's leave it alone. Anyways, the bottom line is if a woman can't have children, it does affect her value. Just like My value as a basketball player will never be as high as LeBron James. He's 6'9", 260, can jump 40, 50 inches off the ground. You know what I'm saying? Run a 4.4. I will never be that. And I wasn't created with that. So some women were created and they don't have the ability to bear children. Is it their fault? No. Is it my fault? I'm not. Can I have the value of LeBron James physically and be able to obtain all the greatness he has? No, but it is what it is. Some things are just genetic and ain't nothing we can do about it.
But we also know that there are some men out there that's got a child by a woman. And I'm gonna say this to Miss what thing, Christina. You got to find a way to have a positive mind state, man. It may be called optimistic or however you want to look at it, though. You know what I mean? If you constantly see, oh, like a person that has a child, I can't make it through college because I got a baby. Well, somebody did. Well, how did they do it? And you can't do it. It's only based on the way that that person thinks about themselves. So first, I mean, you got to find a way to be positive about your tomorrows. You see what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you can't have children, like it's just like water. Water merges with so much. You as a being can merge with anybody. You can merge, and you see what I mean, your energy can be whatever you want it to be. You can project what you want to be, but the only problem is you're going to receive that of that practice that you want, that you're putting forth. You're going to receive the energy that come along with it. So there could be a man that lost it. I mean, that had a child early and is just trying to get in a relationship, that don't want children, that want his woman to be tied, her tubes to be tied. You see what I mean? And he just want to have an experience where we travel the world or we do whatever and we ain't having kids, we just kicking it. That's, you see what I mean? But if you don't see the possibilities of that happening, you'll never see the possibilities of that happening. So and my whole point is, it's about the mind. The mind projects the things that are not physical yet. But the energy that is within the man and the woman are the things that we use to bring about that non-physical thing into reality. So your mind is the most positive is the most powerful thing that you need to get under control. And the way you conversate and use these words, not to just go too far, but words to me are things that you inject energy with. Energy is like a car. How many people in that car? How much energy is it within this word? And if you keep attaching words that have energy that you don't want onto you, then you're going to receive that of that energy that you keep bringing to yourself. It's why it's about the positive words on the tomorrows and what I believe should happen.
I want to add to what Rick and Showtime was saying. I just want to add that I think once you get a certain age and where your options are limited and you've been through life, it's really not about a relationship. It's really not about a marriage. You can't really focus on that. If you still working through your trauma, you still trying to get whatever you're doing, that should be your focus. Thinking about a man is now a distraction. Because if you, while you're working on yourself and trying to become that full-fledged woman, but all you can think about is a husband, now that's your distraction. And you will never get to the womanhood that you're seeking because you're too distracted. You're not focused. So for our sisters, get that out your head. Get that out. Once you stop looking, the man will find you.
And just to say that to Miss Christine, I say that the value of the sister is on her mind. You're gonna get it at the end. You know what I mean? Like, it's about the way you perceive. The way you perceive is that thing that's going to light the future. If you can't, it's just like It's about the brain, the power. If you expect something to happen, like I don't believe in the religion, you know what I mean? I don't follow the religion, but your religion and Christianity teaches you that when you want something and you pray and pray with some faith, pray with some urgency, pray with expectancy, because the expected energy is a powerful energy because it is like your wheel going through the dark. You see what I mean? So when you really want something, you desire it, and you expect it to happen, you move things with your energy and you align it with you. But the problem that is about you is you got to see it. If you align things in your future for your benefit and you going through with blinders on, you miss all those opportunities to get that person which you want to see. So a lot of our people are caught up in their own ways because they got this perception about self. Oh, I don't like this. I do like this. I am this. You see what I mean? I think that's the perception. It's all mental. And I think it's first off, we got to fight against those images of self that came through grandma and them that they got, because we got their image, we got their energy and DNA within us. You see what I mean? Then you got to fight against the image of that 90s person that's grown up that say, well, I'm not pretty enough. You know what I mean? Now we got people that's cutting themselves and all kind of stuff because they don't feel adequate enough in life when they are sitting in a God body. How could the God body forget that it's a God body? You see what I mean? So it's the mind that's been hijacked, and it's through education, and it's through words that have this energy. And when you attach words to that I am, now you become that which you have attached to that I am. So that's why my kids will never say I'm broke, I'm ugly, I'm negative. I'm none of that. No, you are gods, you are kings, you are queens, you are that which you want to be.
That is so true, Showtime. You are, because we forget so much about how the mind works. You speak things over yourself, and we forget that. We speak so many negative things over ourselves. We think negatively. We're watching negative things on TV. We're listening to negative music, and we just don't understand how much that affects the way that we think. The mind is everything. So even like I had to start turning off some of the YouTube stuff with that whole you hit the wall, it's over for you. Ain't nobody, because I was like, I had to realize how that was affecting my mind to where I actually started believing that about myself, to where I was like, I got to turn that off because I have to remember who I am. I'm getting caught up with everybody else's talking points instead of remembering that who my creator is, who made me, who I am. And I had to change that whole mindset. So I now sometimes I don't watch TV all the time because they're putting things on TV, they're putting things in the music to affect how we think about ourselves, which is a big problem with our community. So I'm definitely rocking with everything that you're saying.
Hey, the mind's one of the strongest muscles. It definitely is. Marcus, did you have something? I thought you had something. I can't tell. But shoot, yeah, we can we get ready to go ahead and close out. Oh, hold on, my bad. Go ahead, Marcus. I said, if you talking, I can't hear you.
You good? You go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. If you had a
Yeah,
point, go ahead. Bring it. Yeah, go ahead. Bring it forth.
Have one. You can go ahead. Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay. You can go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't about to do it, but just get ready to close out. Like I said, we had a good discussion tonight. Like I said, as far as not being able to help who you love and all of that, I think it was like I said, excellent talk need to be had. And it seemed like I said, of course, well, from jump, we were all in unison from point A and to Z, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, being able to help who you love. Even the last point Showtime brought out, it pretty much just explained it all again. It's in our head mentally. We can help who we end up falling in love with, who we end up aligning ourselves with. Because that's really what love is all about, who you align yourself with. Because when I said earlier, love is keeping the commandments according to the scriptures. Well, because the commandments are who you align with. You're gonna follow the commands or the directions of the God that you believe in, the God that you serve. I align with Christ. I align with my people, the children of Israel. So I'm like, hey, these are the people I'm going to align with. I love these people. I love this God. So I'm going to rock with that. Same thing if a woman is going to marry a man. Ooh, I love this man. I love his commandments. I'm going to rock with them, every single one of them. So we can help what we align with. It just matters. Do we choose to align with it, or are we going to choose to reject it? It's just really the bottom line. It's just the, end all be all. I don't know if anybody has any comments on that. But like I said, we can ready close out after that.
Hey, I'll say, man, it was a pleasure, man, being in this conversation with you, Miss Monica, and you two brothers, Marcus and Rick, man. It's 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 funny how, you ask a question, with intelligent minds, how you'll get to the end of the rabbit hole with just you see what I mean? Like, I play cards, right? And like, I'll always use this analogy. If I'm the first card player and I want to see the highest card in the suit, I play a 10. Well, guess what the person beside me gonna play? They got to go higher. So she gonna probably, or he gonna play the king or the ace. You see what I mean? Or the some other, and then they gonna bring the ace or the highest card. So now with one card, I was able to get everything out in one hand. I know who got the ace of spade or ace of heart or whatever it is. So in this conversation, when you go amongst intelligent minds and you ask a question, you'll always get all the way down the rabbit hole, because of the perspective that we all come from penetrates that one question. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part about love that's missing, and about unity and community that's missing. A lot of times in our relationship, the reason why they don't fail is because it's not about a partnership. It's about getting my way this time, or this time, or you see what I mean, or you had your way that time. So I wanted to. So I think we got a lot of ego wrapped up into being in relationships, and we got a lot of, this is how it always was for me. This is how I like it. You know what I'm saying? And even, if you've been in relationships for a while and they don't fail and you did it somebody else's way, at some point you're gonna be like, well, shit, it's gonna be my way. You know what I mean? But if this person is coming to you and they like, I want to do it our way, and you trying to do it your way, then another restriction. So it's just a lot that goes on with, and the person's not wrong for trying to do it their way. They tried it somebody else's way and it didn't work. So why not try it your way? But it could just be about time. So it's like, figuring it out for yourself is the most important thing. That's why you should always, always, always know thyself. Understand what you're going through. Eat the proper foods that make your brain work at the most capacity. I've never seen a person that's in shape feeling bad about the way they look. I've never seen it. So you know what I mean? I've never seen a person that's making straight A's mad about their grades. You see what I mean? So it's levels to the way things should operate. So do those things that make you feel good. If eating an apple makes you feel good, damn it, eat the apple. You see what I mean? But you can't put that on pig feet. You know the damn pig feet ain't healthy, but it feels good to eat it. So you kind of, you know what I mean? Now you're working backwards. So I just think that, it's too many times that we are uncompromised, because we are, like Rick said, we stuck in certain ways based on the way life has experienced for us. We've experienced it, but we are like water. We can connect with so many things, and we are multi-changeable and multifaceted. So we have the ability to be. You're not nothing that you don't want to be unless you believe it. You know what I mean? So that's all I gotta say.
Monica, any final points? Final thoughts?
No, I think it was a great discussion. I've learned a lot. Showtime brought a very different perspective to a lot of things. So I appreciate the conversation.
Marcus, you got anything?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate this conversation. Well needed. Hope education went out. Definitely, want to do it again on other topics. If person learned, then this was a good time spent. I think that's it. Yep.
You muted, Rick.
Oh, good looking out. Hey, I should never realize that. Hey, hey, appreciate everybody coming out with us. Everybody rock with us and came in for the show. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the comments. Sparking conversations. You know, those are some great things. Questions, because this is what we need. We got discussions. We have our minds, but then we have other people that kind of wonder about these things. And what we can do is not really just about educate, but interact with one another so we can come to a level of understanding. So we can continue to excel as people. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to stay stagnant. We don't want to remain, in a space of ignorance or just in a space of incorrectness. We want to get to a space of greatness. So hey, I appreciate everybody, like I said, being on the journey with us. Hey, the brothers and sisters on, like I said, look forward to next Sunday. Like I said, Lord's will we get this thing going again. And I'm gonna try to, of course, once time opens up, I'm gonna get more things done throughout the week. I know we got some of the pre-recordings we already, we're working on discussing and getting some of those done throughout time. But the live shows, that's going to be the main ones I'm going to be looking forward to doing. Because like I said, I think these are great for discussions, great for building. And of course, like I said, the interaction and all that stuff can play out. So hey, like I said, appreciate y'all being on. Everybody, let's have a good night. Like I said, thanks for rocking with us. Yeah, Marcus, Monica, Showtime, man. Hey, thanks for coming out. Thanks for showing up. Yes. Hey, salute to y'all. Peace be unto everybody. And for dang sure, peace be unto the 12. Y'all have a good night.